Protest literature of the young, for the young, by the young. After the propaganda movement during the Spanish regime, literature had increased and strengthened the feelings of the children and the youngs. January to March 1970, where the students expressed themselves to have freedom and rights, protest actions and fight to the U.S. imperialism, feudalism, and capitalism, together with the other sectors. Let us now discuss about the revolutionary organizations in the Philippines. The Old Communist Party was established on November 7, 1930. Also known as Old Partido Komunista ng Pilipinas, and Hukbalahap or Hukbong Bayan Laban sa Hapon is also a communist guerrilla movement formed by the farmers from Central Luzon, and they are known as Hooks on year 1946, but these two were become inactive. The next is a new communist party that founded by Jose Maria Sison, a student in UP, false name of Amado Guerrero, and they worked together with the armed group called New People's Army or NPA, commanded by Bernabe Buscaino and known as Commander Dante. Another young student of the UP organized MNLF or Moro National Liberation Front. Guerrero rewrote the history of the Philippines, the Philippine Society and Revolution, on July 30, 1970. It is part of Foundation for Marxist-Leninism interpretation of Philippine society and its basis in the past, that Filipino revolutionaries in overthrowing U.S. Marcos dictatorship, and expression of neo-colonial rule towards realization of people's democratic revolution and achievement of socialism. Many young high school and college students read Sison's book that became an eye and mind opener for them, and majority of them are unprivileged and poor, until they also formed another group, the NDF or National Democratic Front, which is an umbrella of all organization and that led by CPP and NPA, and many lists of groups. There were also groups that formed including National Unions of Students, FFF Federation of Free Farmers, Kiro, Lakas Diwa, and others. With all this, critical skill of the students use a kill and rights, the independence and freedom they are all aiming. When Ferdinand Emmanuel E. Marcos declared martial law on 1972 under Proclamation number 1081, Marcos retained his power as a dictator. The newspaper people, writers, editors, publishers were banned and considered as an enemies of the state, and some of them were arrested and killed. Still, there are some who continued to write and publish their works on underground. Books like I See a Red in a Circle by Cyrus S.C. Alabado, and printed it in a few English versions, and banned for 20 years long of the martial rule. It was one of the 4 books on student activism reviewed by Andres Cristobal Cruz. Others were Free My People and Towards a Filipino Social Revolution by Lakas Diwa, A Century of Activism by Corazon Damo Santiago.
So, some of the poems written in this period. Number 1, I, the RP Child by Ceres Alabado. So this poetry reflects the reality of the children who were traumatized during the first quarter storm. Number 2, If Your Tears Have Dried Off My Native Land. It depicts the invasion of the Americans that brought misery to Manila.
Comics and cartoons. Reggie was considered the most underground of underground artists, known for his vivid and satirical graphics and commentaries about politics, injustice, oppression, brutality, poverty, and corruption that were prevailing in the country. His works appeared in Ang Balitang Pilipino and Kapatid. Some of these famous works are Flip, a collaboration with Serafin Sequia in 1971. The Demonyo Made Me Do It, a satirical comic book about Spaniards using religion to control people. Another comic artist, Malaya, created comic strips, editorial cartoons, political illustrations, and humorous features in his earlier years. Malaya was unknown and have always been a mystery. Some of his well-known works are Dili Ako Mahadlok or I Am Not Afraid, and sharing his comic strips in February to March issue of Kalayaan International that just disappeared from publication. The artist that time supported revolutionary actions against the injustice and violence in politics and governance. Cyrus Alabado also wrote I See Red in a Circle, following the death of Francis Sontillano in 1970 and one of the founder of Makibaca, Lorena Barros, in 1976. And these various works helped not only the people but the youth to voice out their oppressed opinions about the violence and abuse surrounding the country that time.